Here's a question, and this is Brad. And you might have touched this. Well, no, this came in yesterday. A couple of weeks ago, Bob, you wrote that and discussed that the U.S. is selling treasuries beyond what they need and are using the excess money for other activities. Jim Willey wrote that J.P. Morgan is selling bonds far beyond their existing supply, and that Wall Street and the big U.S. banks appear to use naked shorting of U.S. government-backed bonds to produce urgently needed liquidity. So if the banks are indeed naked shorting for liquidity, could a black swan event of some kind trigger a crash in the bond market and send interest rates soaring? And what kind of event would do this, and would this also impact the stock market?
I hate to be brief, but the answer is yes. It's very, very possible. Not just probable. And it's, quite frankly, it's only a matter of when is this going to happen. It could take 2 years. It could be next week. We just don't know. You know, when companies are carrying two sets of books, when the Fed and the Treasury Department lies about everything, you know, how are you supposed to know? You got to back into everything. I spend all my time researching that I'm not on the radio, trying to find out secrets like this. It's very hard to do that. But you know them by what they do, not by what they say. And so I think that you have this sales, and I don't think they're sales.
This question is in from Ron. He says, Salente is saying that, Gerald Salente is saying that instead of runaway inflation, we could have a bank shutdown and the banks would reopen to a dollar devaluation. If the devaluation was 80%, would that mean that for every dollar you have in savings or in stocks,
you get 20 cents.
Bonds, or under the mattress, you would now have 20 cents? And would a $1 item on the grocery shelf still cost $1? The difference between that and runaway inflation is like cutting your throat instead of cutting your wrist.
No, it would cost 20 cents plus the markup, and the manufacturers always mark them up. And my guess is that it would be 25 cents would be your cost. So they scalp you a little there, and that's the big companies. And that's happened in every country that either an inflationary or deflation currency collapse has happened. And, you know, the possibility's there. We just don't know the timing. Generally speaking, Gerald's right, and so am I. But I can't put a date on it because I just don't know.
Here's another question. Actually, this one came in Friday. I really missed this one. Where do you see spot silver by the end of October? And can you discuss what's going on in the silver market?
Well, I would think $25 is doable. And I think what's going on in the market is continued pressure on Morgan and HSBC to cover. And I don't know that that's going on, but I do know there's a lot of physical buyers out there. And they continue to buy every day.
Hello? I think I lost Robert. Maybe we can go to an early break if he doesn't come back on here in just a moment or two. I know they were having problems with their monitors or with their satellite earlier today. So let's just see if we can't take our break a little early, and we'll see what we can do. Stay tuned. Say something. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Financial Survival, sponsored by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. I'm Melody Cedarstrom, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. We are back. A little bit of a snafu at the bottom of the hour, but we'll continue through this next half hour. with Robert Chapman from the International Forecaster. If you would like a copy of the International Forecaster, give us a call at 1-800-375-4188. If you haven't received one as yet, you better give us a call on our 800 number. And Bob, would you like to tell us about the International Forecaster, please?
The Forecaster is about business, finance, economic, social, and political issues all over the world. And we publish on Wednesdays and Saturdays, runs around 40 pages each time. We have a hard copy that goes out twice a month for those who are not on the Internet. If you'd like a free introductory copy, you can go to theinternationalforecaster.com. That's theinternational, Forecaster.com, or you can go to www.intforecaster.com. That's intforecaster.com. Or if you want to write to us with a question or get a copy, you can use my email, which is Bob, B-O-B, at intforecaster.com. intforecaster.com.
1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster, and of course your gold and silver coins here at Discount Gold and Silver. That's 1-800-375-4188. That's 1-800-375-4188. We got some great prices on all our coins. Coin prices yesterday, they actually went up, and then they came back today. So they started to go up. That means buying got a little soft going into the weekend. And then as what you said, Bob, I expect this week a lot of people are still on vacation. So next week should be a pretty good week.
Well, as I was just telling Melody on the break, the volumes are down 50 or more percent on the gold and silver shares. And when you have Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, Jewish holidays, because there's so many Jewish people involved in the finance business, I guess everybody just says, well, if they're going to leave, I may as well leave too. There's not going to be much going on. And that's why the volumes and the interest drop. So next week we'll be gunning again. We just got an email in here from James, and he says, how can you answer this question so fast when I hear you now on First Amendment radio with Melody Cederstrom? I mean, it's Friday.
What?
And he gives a time. And I hear you on her show as I am writing this email. Is there someone else answering these questions besides yourself? Well, James, the answer is no, it's me. I've never got one like that before. Anyway, carry on, nurse.
Well, actually, I didn't know if the archives were just being posted, so I don't know what program or what date, if he's listening current or not. So send us another email and let us know.
Yes, James.
How would a dollar devaluation, as Gerald Solani suggests, affect the price of gold and other currencies that aren't devalued? Would the price simply double or triple in U.S. dollar terms and stay constant in other currencies?
Well, you almost had it perfect. Gold will anticipate the fall of a currency versus gold. And it's been doing that over and over and over again. This year, gold is up 14% against most major currencies. And, they fluctuate from day to day, month to month. And, you can say at the end of the year, well, this is what it was for the year. It's easier that way. But the point is, and this is so important, and I think it enters into the question which we saw earlier, and that is, when you're going to have a devaluation of the dollar against other currencies or against gold, you're always going to have gold and silver as well run ahead and make up for all that loss by gold and silver going higher. So even if you had $1 and they only paid you 20 cents, if the price of gold went up 10 times or 5 times, let's say 5 times is certainly within the realm, because John Williams is calling for 7,600 for gold. So 5 times is within the realm. What are you worried about? What's going to happen is that gold and silver will always buy more than $1 will. And that's the bottom line. And you may get lucky, and you may have bought gold at $300 an ounce, and it may be $10,000. And you may have made a lot of money besides saving your purchasing power and the value of the wealth that you had. That's really the bottom line. That's what gold and silver are all about. They're the mean. They're the only real money. They don't owe anybody anything. It's the barometer of what's going on in currencies. You people must think this is new. It's been going on for at least 700-800 years since they've had currencies. And before that, they had letters of credit that they used to write out.
Let's see if I can go to another question here.
You better hurry up. You better hurry up. I got 4 more here.
Well, I'm running low.
Papers?
Oh, let's see. I think we did that one on.
I thought you were going to play in the U.S. Open today.
Well, no, work is more important.
Oh.
How do you think? And I'm not sure. What do you think the role of China and Russia will play out with the devaluing of the U.S. currency? As naturally, if the U.S. is devaluing their dollar on purpose, this will not hurt primarily the Chinese purchasing power. And any information how these two countries should or will react to the invasion or bombing of Iran, especially since Russia and China have a vested interest in their economy, and particularly in the oil interest. And we really don't hear, we hear very little of the relationship with these two countries and Israel, since Israel seems to be the catalyst for the war.
Well, you said a whole bunch of things there. And, we have to dissect it piece by piece. China's got ferocious problems. And, it's not getting reported that way because the U.S. and the American media does not want to embarrass China. But the unemployment situation in the last year and a half has not got any better with all of the money they spent. I mean, the figure somewhere between $1.8 trillion and $2.5 trillion. And there's still 30 million people unemployed. And the borrowing of money has been colossal over there. Now, they got a bubble in real estate. I mean, they got plenty of problems. And I think Russia's actually better off. And, they're still pumping oil and, digging natural resources out of the ground, which everybody needs. And so I think Russia's probably in the best spot. What did I miss there? Because they hit so many questions there.
Oh, he did. About the relationship with the two countries in Israel.
Well, Israel is an expansionist empire in the Middle East. And the Chinese and the Russians, they know all about that. And they pay them lip service. And they tolerate them. Let's just put it that way. And I would say, generally speaking, the relations are moderate to slightly negative.